So in this video I'm going to give you a rundown on the vintage air AC system that I put in Tinmama, and in the description below there will be all the part numbers of all the products I used. It'll be pretty similar for most of you guys, but every application is going to be a little bit different. So enjoy the video, hope you learn a lot. Post any questions in the comments below. Give her a thumbs up if you liked it, I appreciate it, and thanks for following along. First of all, I went ahead and I pretty much planned out my mounting spot, and then I made sure that my fittings and everything were going to work on this bulkhead. Because believe it or not, for hose routing, the bulkhead location is actually more important than the location of the evaporator. Now, in order for all these holes to line up perfectly with the bulkhead, you want to actually center punch the center of the holes and then drill it with a small 1/8 inch drill bit. That allows you a nice stationary spot for the tip of the vary bit to go into. Otherwise, if you drill and it's slightly off on one hole, the bulkhead won't fit and you'll have to drill the next bigger size. So for a nice tight fit, you want to drill with a small pre-drill first and then hit it with the vary bit or step bit or whatever you want to call it to drill it out to the hole size you need. So as far as the mounting goes, I use the 2 bolt holes that are in the case of this unit. And then there's also one way in the back there, you can see the head of that bolt right there. Make sure if you're putting this behind the dash, you want to put on your dash and then put any accessories like their glove box. And if you're going to have a radio in your dash, put all that in to make sure it's all going to clear. The most important thing for me here was my radio, because my radio actually comes right in here and there's only about a 1/2 inch of clearance behind the radio, but it'll work out. Okay, on this side here, I have a glove box, an original glove box that I bought from Chevs of the 40s, but what I'm gonna have to do is I'm actually gonna have to shorten that glove box because the way this all mounts in here, which is kind of to be expected again, gets in the way of the glove box because this unit is so large, but I ordered the larger one because I wanted the best efficiency possible. Basically up in here, there's the 4 fittings, 2 are for the AC, and then 2 are for the heater. As you can see, the 2 copper ones are for the heater core, basically, which controls your heat, and then the 2 high pressure lines up there are for the AC. One thing of note that I almost forgot about with the heater, you have to have a heater switch, which basically tells when to open and close to send water through, so that way your heater core has cold water in it when the AC's on and it has hot water in it when the heater's on. So I tucked that in up here all nice, and then I ended up running my lines around and through. Now this took a lot of fitment and testing. Probably spent a couple hours just making sure all my hoses could route. Back in here you can see there's the hydraulic hoses back there. This is all a very tight fit. Fitment is key. And then also one thing of note here is there's enough room here for the venting, the vent tubing to obviously come up and go to my vents. Another thing, the defrost here, you can see my defrost vents. There are defrost vents that usually come with this kit, but I'm using the stock ones because they rivet in and I know they fit. So that one will actually be in the way of this 4th vent hole. You can see this vent hole here, which I'm just gonna cap off because we only have 3 vents on our dash, so we're only gonna need these 3. So that one will be capped off, and then I can just run my tube from this defrost back to this vent hole here. Now I'm going to show you how I mounted the condenser. Now this is a vertical condenser that was universal that I ordered off of eBay. Vintage Air didn't have one that fit my particular application, so you're just going to have to search around and find one that'll fit whatever you're looking to do. So here I'm building some mounts out of some 12 gauge steel that fit the inside structure of the grill opening, essentially. These mounts not only will mount the AC condenser, but it also funnels some of the air that comes in from the grill through the condenser, through the tranny cooler, and then through the radiator, of course. Now I'm using riv nuts that are riveted into the AC condenser, and then some button head bolts to bolt the condenser into those 12 gauge metal panels that I made, which again are mounts and diverters for air. And then what you can't see in this video, there is a mount on the bottom that attaches the bottom of the condenser just through a couple basic bolt holes in the bottom of the condenser to basically give it some fore and aft support, because the 12 gauge could potentially give some bow with at high speeds from the wind going through the condenser.
Tinman tips and tricks.
So here I made a quick simple mount using some angle iron for the B&M SuperCooler that I put in the car, and I used some 3/8 200 psi rubber line to run partway back, and then some 3/8 steel lines that I bent and shaped and put a ridge on with my Master Cool hydraulic flare tool. Here I have a GM 3/8 tranny flare set in here, so all I gotta do is put this in there. Now I have that line in there and tightened up. All I gotta do is tighten this handle, give her a few pumps till she stops, and you have a perfect flare. So not only is that flare great for going in the GM transmission, it goes right in, but it also has basically a nipple on it so that you can actually put a rubber hose on there and it works as a barb. So under the car I have, pretend like this is the transmission, I have the flared line going into the transmission, and then it goes over to the frame rail, follows the frame rail up, and then basically it switches to rubber once it gets towards the front of the car, so I can more easily maneuver the rubber hose around everything that's up in there to get it to the tranny cooler. Now when I do a video of all the brake lines, I'll actually show you the in-depth process of using this tool. Your mind will be blown and you'll want to buy one, I promise you.
Back to the video.
So here I'm using a Master Cool AC hose crimper. Now this thing's pretty easy to use. The most important thing is lining up your fitting properly with your hose, because especially with any sort of curved fittings or whatever you want to call them, the orientation is going to be important because hydraulic hoses will not twist very much to allow for things. So I mark with a red Sharpie on both the fitting and the hose when it's in the vehicle and all mocked up. Then you set it inside of the hose crimper tool, and it's pretty simple. All you have to do is center the actual metal collar on your fitting in the clamp, tighten up the clamp, loosen it up when it's done, and then you pull it out and it's done. So you can do this on a custom hot rod application or even your daily driver if you needed to make a custom hose for that. So I'll put the part number for this tool in the description below as well, and I recommend the tool. It's real nice, super simple to use. I am actually surprised how easy it is. One thing that's important to note is to make sure you push the hose all the way in until you can see the black rubber hose coming through the little sight hole on the fitting. Not all fittings will have these, but a lot of the good ones will. So I'm going to give you a very basic rundown of the air conditioning and heat system in this car. Now you can see there's the bulkhead, Vintage Air bulkhead with the hydraulic connectors. Now 2 of those are for coolant for the heater core, and 2 are for the AC. The smaller line on the left is the high pressure line. That goes down into a dryer, which you really can't see, but there is a dryer behind there with a TRINARY switch, which basically tells the compressor and the electric fans on the radiator on the condenser when to turn on based on pressures. You can see the 3 lines, actually 4 lines, sorry. You can see the 4 lines come through this spot here. I had a custom-made clamp made by TKO clamps that mounts to the frame there and then holds those lines, just holds them nice. It's just a nice little holder to keep them organized and away from the manifolds. You can see there's one coolant line there. There's another TKO clamp, custom made. It says Tinman! And there's another one there which goes to the water pump. And then obviously here's a Sandan air compressor that came with the Vintage Air kit. It was a little pain in the butt trying to get the right fittings to make all this work because it is pretty tight up in here. This is a Summit Racing bracket kit up front. I'll put the part number for that. It worked out pretty good. There's some adjustment screws on it, as well as a billet cover that I ordered for the actual pulley, even though it probably wasn't really necessary. You can't really see it. It's just a nice little dress up. So you can see the number 10 line goes into the compressor. That is the suction line that basically sucks your Freon, and then the other one is the pressure line, which is going to go basically into your condenser, which is up front under this panel here, and then obviously back into the evaporator, which is inside the car. Nice and clean, simple. And this was a extended length hose kit that I just ordered. I ordered some hard lines too because I wasn't sure once I got up under this cover here if I was going to need hard lines or how I was going to do it. Not sure if you can really see in there. See behind the grill, there's the condenser. The charging procedure is pretty simple. You can really look that up online anywhere. I didn't actually video doing that part, so I'll just let you guys go and look that up. Now, every manufacturer is going to have slightly different recommendations, but basically the gist of it is you charge it to the right pressure and make sure it's dry, and there you go. So that's basically the rundown on the AC system. I'll put a diagram here so you can check out, I don't know how it works. Pretty simple, I guess. So, whoa. Crocs and snow socks? What? What the heck? Wow. Ciao, ciao for now.